Yeah, looks like they back for a fifth season, man.
Who that?
Sports Roundtable.
Who?
SRT Crew.
Whoa.
SRT. They got that realness flowing in their DNA. Damn you lame if you ain't tuned to SRT today. HO got that payload when he say so. What you betting on? Don't get mad at me on fantasy. Break up Kyrie LeBron. I be smooth as sports superhero Hancock in the mix. Deal with roll tide forever. Real talk, you know who he gon' pick. See where I be with SRT. Behind the glass, that G Money. They with a strong, I never lose. 6 man a lead, that's J Smooth.
All you other sports radio shows is fake news. Believe it. Turn up your radios, cause it's time for SRT Radio. Yeah.
What up? It's the Sports Roundtable, and we're live overlooking the virtual world. I am your humble host, H.O. from Bankhead, and I got the crew back in here with me. And we're back in the building as this episode 417. And the name of this episode is The Madness is Over. The madness is over because we are in the building and we got to talk about it. Even though I don't want to, but we got to talk about it.
Coach, I thought he might have discontinued this week.
I was this close, but I said, well, at least let me get my man Ace it up. He probably won his pool anyway. So, but anyway, we're here. HO from Bankhead, and we got my main man Ace is in the building from DNA Sports. And of course, I got coaches in the building as he's continued to suffer from the transfer portal and all the guys that's leaving the colored blue. But coach is in the building, and we got to talk about Shedeur Sanders and all this other kind of stuff, man. We got a whole lot to talk about, and we're gonna get my main man Asa to talk about the record-breaking Alex Ovechkin, and because we didn't get to it last week, but you had a comparison about old Alex from last week. We never got to, and maybe this week we go jump to. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and jump into it now. 8, 9, and 5. Go ahead and let us know how big it is. What kind of game does Alex have? Because a lot of us, let's be real, a lot of us are not hockey watchers. But so if you can explain what kind of game Alex has, and is he the LeBron to the Wayne Gretzky is to the Joy? I think you was going to go down that route.
So you set it up perfectly, the runway. But before we get there though, Coach, I'm surprised he called us in here after Saturday's debacle. We ain't go just Coach. You see what he doing, Coach? Try to get me on some other topic before we can jump on that other color on Tobacco Road. I'm with you today, coaches. Me and you go double team today, Coach. How about that? But Ovechkin to Wayne Gretzky. I mean, it's amazing, right? So 895 goals, broke the record, played the exact same amount of games. And I want to say seasons as well. He might be a season or more longer than Gretzky. I think he missed the season with a broken leg early in his career, whatever. So, but they played the exact same amount of games for him to break the record. And I was going to say last week, who's better, right? So if you're a hockey fan or whatever, I think people will still say Gretzky, because Gretzky is the one that really turned the ordinary person to watch hockey from time to time, as far as different segments. Now, obviously you're going to have your people from the Northeast and the Great Lakes area are going to watch hockey all the time. But, as the game has grown West Coast, down South, Gretzky is the reason why a lot of people who will know what's going on with hockey. So to your point, the point I was going to make was, if I tell you who's the best NFL running back ever, most people probably will name a lot of people before they get to Emmitt Smith.
Right.
Walter Payton, Barry Sanders, you know what I mean? But Emmitt Smith has the rushing record. If we was to name who's the best MLB player, a lot of people probably going to name a lot of, depending on the segment, they might still say Babe Ruth, but a lot of folks will say Barry Bonds. Now, granted, Barry Bonds does have the home run record, but as you go through, Barry Bonds is going to bubble to the top. Tennis, any major sport. Basketball, again, who's the best? Most people are probably going to say Michael Jordan, regardless of LeBron plays a few more years and he continues to break these records based on longevity. I feel like Ovechkin is the same way. Most people will still say it is Gretzky and not Ovechkin, but we don't hear the argument like we hear with basketball with LeBron to Jordan, and then there were greats before him or whatever. So,
well, let me ask you this though: is it because the melanin is not in the sport like it is in the other sports? Is it because of that? That's why we don't hear that reference. Because if Gretzky is the Michael Jordan, to Ovechkin is the LeBron, then Sid Crosby must be the Kobe.
I will say, because you know what? Because you're going to start having another name out there now. I wonder the next 10 years, McGregor, he plays for Edmonton. He's going to wind up being on that same project, that same path line as being one of the great ones. I think it's a couple of things. I'm going to give Gretzky credit because he kind of didn't. I'm going to give Gretzky credit to where Jordan didn't do. Gretzky kind of said, you know what, this guy is going to probably get to my record. Matter of fact, I'll give you an example. Kareem Abdul really didn't give LeBron his flowers when he broke his record. You know what I mean? Even though he showed up, you could still see there was some slight disdain there. You know what I mean? But I feel like some of that disdain from dang, I'm about to call him, man. From Lou Alcindor. Now I can't call his new name. Kareem Abdul. Is because I think all the talk as far as who the GOAT was, and we left out the pioneers. We left out the Bill Russells, the Kareems, the guys that came before, and kind of just focused on LeBron and Jordan. Whereas Gretzky kind of embraced his record being broken, and he embraced, Ovechkin early on, and basically was like, hey, if you break the record, I'll be the first person to shake your hand. And he was there the night of. You see what I'm saying? So, some of it could be the melanin, but I think also some of it is how the great ones kind of handled the record being broken. You know what I mean? Because you had the animosity in baseball. Even in baseball, when Barry Bonds was chasing Hank Aaron, there was some animosity there. Now granted, the cloud over Barry was whether or not he had been juicing or not, but still, I think there was some animosity as far as how baseball handled the greats and was handling Barry to break the record. I give a lot of credit to Gretzky. He kind of squashed that early on. So, it'll be interesting to see how Ovechkin may handle McGregor as he comes along and starts breaking some of his records.
All right. So Sid Crosby ain't even in GOAT conversation.
No, he's there. So to your point though, we might have that. But Sid's still playing, right?
Yeah. So
he's the Kobe then. So Gretzky is in this example. Then Gretzky is Jordan, Ovechkin, and then Sid is. Dang, nah, man, Sid started before Ovechkin. Dang.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. You know what? You might have to give Ovi a little bump over Gretzky because he's
over Gretzky. Okay.
Over Gretzky because he's surpassed or beaten some of his counterparts that are still playing right now.
All right.
I think the one thing he may not have the he don't have the Stanley Cups that Sid got.
Okay. Coach, you want to chime in on some of this hockey talk and Ovechkin
Asa,
Yes, sir.
Asa, you need to be drug tested.
For what?
You need to be. Did you actually say that Kareem got some disdain?
So you telling me he embraced that whole? Are you telling me he fully embraced LeBron breaking his record?
Was he there when LeBron broke the record?
He was there, but did he
Okay.
fully embrace being there?
If you know Kareem, you'll know that he's a very distant
standoffish.
person. He does not ever get involved in all this politics about Jordan and LeBron and being all in the spotlight and everything. Kareem never was in the spotlight. Kareem just did his thing and went on about his business. He didn't try to get in all this business. And Kareem is, whenever they get through, the only 6-time MVP of the NBA, the only one. And they all
listen. When it comes to Kareem, he probably has the best basketball career of everybody. Did he lose a game in college? I don't think so. If they did, he lost one.
2.
I think. Huh?
2.
Oh, listen. Okay, so 4 years at UCLA, he lost 2 games. So I know at least 3 championships, and the one that they did lose, I think probably wasn't a championship game to Notre Dame. And then he has 5 rings.
Yes, Kareem won 3 in high school. All the years he was there. Every year he was in college except for 1, and that's because freshmen were allowed to play on the basketball team. And
Educate me.
Pros.
Educate me.
Let me jump over. I'm gonna leave you alone about Green. Let me jump over to hockey. Alex Ovechkin can sit back and smile and say thank you because nobody's breaking that record. The next closest to him is Gordie Howe, and Gordie Howe is not even alive. So, Sid Crosby, McGregor, those guys are not gonna catch that record. They got to play 50 years.
McGregor, this is what his 3rd or 4th year in, so I don't know. Like, I feel like the reason why, and to your point, I understand that. I feel like the reason why Ovechkin even got to it is because of his failures in the playoffs. Like I said, I think he only has 1 Stanley Cup because he was one of those guys who, had a lot of failures, not being able to finish the deal. And so I think that also him trying his drive to get a Stanley Cup kept him in the game probably a little bit longer than most. And so, on the way.
And the thing with Gretzky, all the points that Gretzky amassed, he's safe with that because Ovechkin ain't catching him in points. Nobody is an overall point. Goals, he got him, but overall points, Gretzky is the man. Gretzky is hockey personified. So
yeah. So I like I said, there's some in his current for Ovechkin, his current timeline and the guys that he's played with and some that are still playing, he's number 2. And I don't think hockey doesn't have that issue, at least from my perspective, that the NBA has when it comes to celebrating their greats when it comes to these kind of records. And granted, Kareem was there and showed up, but I still don't believe, to your point, that might be more of his personality, but I don't think Kareem was all that excited to deal with LeBron. That's just how I kind of took some of his lack of responses, mannerisms. Yeah.
Oh, where is it? Okay, here we go.
Hey, well, Coach, who's your GOAT for hockey? Who's your GOAT, Coach?
Oh, that's Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky, without a doubt. Ain't nobody gonna be close to what Gretzky did. So that's that. It's a mute point. Nobody's catching him. They have to play longer than LeBron to catch Gretzky. It ain't gonna happen. Gretzky did so much during his time. There's nobody even close.
Well, let me ask y'all this. Then. Let me ask y'all this. In the eras of when all hockey players were dominant, who was the most dominant hockey player that you've ever seen play or skate? Was it Gretzky? Was it Sid? Or was it Ovechkin?
What's my man? What's my man from the Rangers? I mean,
Messier.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, you.
I will say this. I will say this about Gretzky. I mean, he's great, and I'm not, to coaches point, points, all those things that he has accumulated. They really built the team or teams around him to allow him to do those things. You know what I mean? It's like, we know this man is magic on the ice. And so if we can keep him clean, because he wasn't no bigger than he was talking about thin ice. He was thin on the ice. He's a small frame guy. So the first thing you had to do for him is to make sure you kept him clean. So they built teams to keep him clean, to keep him free from, not taking so much punishment, cross checks, and all that kind of stuff. So
go ahead.
I think the best thing that he had going for him was organizations understood his talent and built around it appropriately.
Gotcha. All right, we got one more thing, then we're gonna go to hot news. All right, real quick. With that being said, we talked about Sid, we talked about Wayne, and we talked about Alex. Can anybody on here name all three of those guys, defensive enforcers who protected them on the ice?
That's literally what I was just looking up to see who the names were for Gretzky when he was playing. Because you got to give those guys credit because, like I said, they kept them clean.
So, I mean, we're talking about the GOAT, but somebody was helping them get to GOAT status, and protecting them was the one. So, we talked about how Jordan had Pippen and Kobe had Shaq, and how Magic had Kareem. I mean, so who did Gretzky have? Who did Alex have? Who did Sid have? So, those are some of the things that need to be brought into play as well. So if we can get that down, then I think we can roll with something. What you got, Ace?
Yeah. Oh no, it ain't pulled up, y'all. So as we go on, as I pull them out, I'll just shoot some names out.
All right. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into some hot news. And the hot news sponsored by Big Easy Grill. 1193 Collier Road. Big Easy Grill is the #1 Louisiana seafood in town, probably in the South, for your seafood. Louisiana seafood is Big Easy Grill. You go over there to 1193 Collier Road, Atlanta, Georgia. Big Easy Grill, the best place you can find shrimp, crab claws, and po' boys, and it is off the chain. Let them know Sports Roundtable and SRT sent you. You can get your 25. You can get your discount for 10% any meal, $25 or more. Yes, sir. There we go. All right. The first thing off the bid is we have a champion. Gator Chump. And the Gators was the hottest team going into the tournament. Probably playing the best as well. And they are the champions of college basketball in 2025. Thanks to John Shire's collapse and also another collapse by Sampson. I mean, they literally did the same collapse in back-to-back games, so maybe it was a jinx. I'm not sure what it was, but we got to give Florida credit. And let's point this out, Coach and Asa. The biggest thing I observed from the championship game was there were no 5-star players on the court at no time. Everybody that was on the court playing in those games were the highest rated was 3 stars or less. And that was it. That's a testament to coaching development and putting the team together that plays together. So there you go. That was my take from it, and congratulations to the Florida Gators and Mr. Golden He has a bright career, bright future. He's only 39. It was 37, 39 years old.
39, yeah, 39.
39 years old, the youngest coach to ever win a championship in college basketball. So congrats to him. And Ace, I'll let you go first. Your thoughts on the championship game and everything that went down and how it went for you. Did you win?
So I just about to say, no, I didn't win my bracket. I had Houston winning, and that's what it came down to. If Houston had won, I would have won my bracket. But since Houston lost, I came in like second or third because of the points or whatever. So, but I think we had talked about it a couple of weeks ago with all 4 number ones. We said there wasn't going to be any blowouts. And so it came down to coaching. And so that's a testament to Florida's head coach because he didn't, you mentioned it, Bruce Pearl, Auburn, they didn't make their second half adjustments and they kind of they faltered toward the end. Duke just really went brain dead for 10 minutes in the second half and lost that game and then turned right around a day later.
Hold on one second. Cuz, but Golden is 37 as well, but he's younger than Valvano, so check your facts before you jump on here.
And so the same thing happened to Sampson. I was more surprised with Houston cracking the way they did than anybody else because I felt that the out of all the coaching, these last 4, Sampson was the one, Calvin was the one that was the best out of all of them. But I'm gonna give Florida credit. I've never seen, and if you recall, they had 2 3-pointers that wind up turning into traveling calls or double dribbles. They did it to Auburn, where old boy had to not take the shot, let it drop, and and then they did the exact same thing to Houston. So, I mean, I just don't recall seeing that happen. I can't recall 2 other times in the whole time that I've watched basketball in the last, say, 10 years, and to see the same team do it in consecutive games, back-to-back nights, is a testament to the kind of defense and detail that they played with.
All right, Coach, what you got?
I just don't understand how Houston was able to beat Duke. I don't know how that happened. That it just was. Oh, we're not talking about Duke. My bad. Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. My bad. Houston was in control for really much not the whole game, but most of the game, and then just
last 2 minutes.
And I just can't believe it fell apart like that. The way they've been playing and the way what they've been doing overall, it was like, wow. And like they say, it hurts after the game, and I know it does hurt to lose a game like that. And I always like to say, if you're gonna beat me by 30 points, well, I ain't got a chance. That way I know I ain't got a chance, but don't let me control the game and then I lose it at the end. That hurts more than anything to me, to control the game like that and then make mistakes that are uncharacteristic of your team and you lose the ball game, which is what happened to Houston.
Just sound like a repeat of what Duke. Like I said, what comes around goes around. For the less than 24 hours or a little bit over 24 hours previously, they did the same thing to Duke. They squeezed Duke. Duke couldn't get an inbound pass. And so
we got some ballers and busters coming up on that. So stay tuned.
So I think this was a good tournament, even though we didn't have any Cinderellas. I think it was a good tournament because you had teams in which would evenly match, and then now you're looking at, who was going to blink first, who was going to make the crucial mistake, what kind of in-game adjustments were going to be made or not be made. And so in the Duke Houston game, in the Auburn Florida game, I think it was a lack of adjustments that cost them that game. In the Duke Houston game, it was just a lack of execution at the end of the game. And the same thing with the Houston Florida game, just the lack of execution at the end. So
I can't believe that Cooper Flag shot a fadeaway.
Yeah, that was
unnecessary.
Talking about in the Houston game,
shot straight up. If he had shot that straight up, that's ball game.
Well, when you hooking a guy, it's kind of hard to get off the ground.
Well, no comment.
We gonna take our little shots at HO today. When you hooking a guy, you know what I mean? You hook him and go up.
Yeah, so, I want my bulletproof. Listen, I want my bulletproof vest. What was that movie when that was on the Players Club when Bernie Mac said you better wear your bulletproof vest all the day.
Oh man, so but Flag is the truth though. I will say that. He's the truth.
Yeah, but that's not the shot you need to take when you have the height advantage over somebody and you need a basket. You don't shoot a 12-foot fadeaway.
Yeah.
With no chance to follow it up.
It is, we talking about young adults. And so, pressure busts a pipe.
Right. You think that played a part down the stretch that Duke had all those young freshmen who never been in a situation like that?
I think he'll play down the stretch. Duke ain't played nobody all year.
No, I think it was just – I don't think it was that. I think it was the fact that everything was happening so fast, especially with the inbound and couldn't get the ball in, things of that nature. It was – have anybody ever tried to stop a boulder or a snowball rolling down here?
Once it gets going, right?
Yeah, it's hard to stop. So I think it wasn't that. It was just the momentum of the game that caused. If you make the free throw, then we ain't talking about this. We talking about then I'm dressed in blue today.
I'll say this also well, HO, in that game against Houston. Houston made a mistake in getting a technical foul on the inbound, but that winded up giving them a chance because that's points without they gave up the point, but they didn't lose any time off the clock. So, it's like man, even when Houston messed up in that game, they wind up getting an advantage that they probably normally wouldn't have gotten. So sometimes it's just not your night. And down the stretch, it just wasn't Duke's night.
Yeah, but came down the fundamentals. You make your free throw, then we're good. And then, like I said, I mean, that's fundamentals. And
inbound the ball is fundamental, baby. Inbound the ball is fundamental. But sometimes when you've had so many games where you've blown people out, and you got a young coach, he just ain't checked that box off. Now, I guarantee you next year, you know what I mean? He'll have that box checked off.
I'm gonna tell you this though. All the apologizing I did for John Shire during at the end of the season, I take it all back. But I'll wait till we get to our ballers and busters for that. I shall wait. All right, so next item up to bid in our roundtable discussion is the NBA makes a firing. Well, the GM and the head coach rumored wasn't seeing eye to eye, so they let the coach go. Now this is the fourth time.
And the GM.
Yep, both of them.
Okay, and the GM. Well, the coach went left first. So the problem is this. This is I think it's the fourth time where the coach won a championship, and within the year or two after that, they gone.
Everybody since 2020 up until now, the last 4 champions
have
been fired. So
Exactly.
Vogel with the Lakers, Budenhauser with Milwaukee, Malone now with the Nuggets, and I'm missing somebody.
Yeah, it's crazy. That don't make no sense. So all right, so we got to jump on that. So how do you fire this guy when he brought you a champion, and now they're trying to pull Westbrook into the mix to say that
Patrick, you don't need any laundry or anything clean tonight?
I'm sure.
I want that life, baby. I want that life, coach. I want that life. I want that life, coach.
Hold on for a second. We're gonna take it out coach for a minute. Cuz had it's not MVP, it's most
Clayton Jr.
MOP, most outstanding player. So Ace, go ahead and talk about this coaching, this firing of the Denver Nuggets. Very, very surprised, or are you shocked, or are you like, well, hey, it's a business?
All the above, and the business part lets you understand why some organizations don't have longevity when it comes to winning. And so you got what, 5 games left for the season's over?
3.
So I mean, you could fire, even if you want to fire the coach and the GM, you could let the GM go. The GM's not making no decision for the rest of the season. Your coach still is an integral part of the team, and you will want to keep him around at least through the playoffs. And at least then, if you exit early out of the playoffs, you could have some face to be like, why we let him go? Well, he didn't maximize this team with an early exit in the playoffs. But to fire them both before the end of the season, you don't have no clear-cut person to take over the coaching side of the team. Because again, you're not making any GM moves in the playoffs. So this is all about coaching. It makes absolutely no sense. Why would you shoot yourself in the foot to what? To prove a point? But this is what happens when you have people. Some people are extremely smart and got the business right. I can't tell you not smart there. But just because you have a business and you were able to get it started, don't mean you're smart enough to keep it or to run it properly. And so I just feel like, man, I feel bad for the fans in Denver, because I just don't see, unless who's the guy that's going to be the interim coach. He's his dad used to coach for Portland, right?
I can't think of his name either.
I think his last name is, his dad coached for Portland for a lot of years. But anyway, he doesn't have any head coaching experience. We don't know if he has the ability to do in-game adjustments. All these things that you're going to need to do or be able to perform.
David Edelman.
Edelman, yeah. So his dad was the coach for Portland. Went to 2 NBA championships, lost both of them.
Rick Edelman.
Rick Edelman, yeah. I mean, he don't have a ring because of Jordan, because of Isaiah. Yeah. He had teams though, but still, we don't know. His son doesn't have any. I mean, man, wow! You get your first coaching gig to start the playoffs. Hey, listen, he could do one or two things. Ho, he gonna come in here and he might shock the world, and they go on a run, or they gonna crash and burn in the first round. I don't see either other way. I don't see it going any other way other than they making a run to the finals or they crashing and burning in the first round.
What? So how does Denver, a championship branded organizations, at least over the last 5 years, how do you recover from firing the 2 ingredients that brought you a championship, and then you get rid of them, and then now you got to move forward?
So
how do you recover from that?
I'm gonna correct you a little bit there. the GM that they just fired, he wasn't the GM that built that team. The GM that built
they won the year that they won the championship. That was his first year, so he didn't build it, but he took over the So he was in Minnesota.
So I will say this has been going on probably since the championship. So the same thing kind of happened here in Atlanta when it comes to losing coordinators and your brain trust, right? So in case of Denver, their GM left and took a better, took a position in Minnesota and built a team to beat Denver. Minnesota is built to beat Denver. And so, his successor hasn't been that great.
Yeah.
The question is, has he not been great because the owner is cheap? Or have they not been that great because the successor GM who they just let go just wasn't what they thought he was? But we know what Malone is. Malone can coach it.
I agree. Hold on, let me turn to the Braves. Keep going.
So you look at this, man, and I feel the same way about this as I feel when Atlanta made the mistake in letting Danny Ferry go. And I think they're gonna struggle for a while. And they're gonna waste unless the GM that they bring in is somebody good. I don't know who the GM, I don't know who they're looking at, don't know who might can fit that mold. But I was saying why before you stepped away for a second, we seen what happened to Atlanta when you let a good GM go in Danny Ferry. I feel like we seen what's happening to Denver when they let their GM leave and go to Minnesota. So, and then you're going to compound it with firing a pretty good coach, the guy that brought you your first championship in your franchise history, and you let him go less than 2 years. So,
yeah. Hold on a second, I got a comment. Yeah, I can agree. Yeah, so Maurice said it.
But you fix that though. Upper management needs to fix that. If you know they're not on good terms, you fix that. You fix that way before 5 games are going the season.
So that's just like saying, I'm gonna bring in Kevin Booth without consulting Mike Malone. I'm gonna bring in the GM to be your boss, and you have to teach him how to be your boss while we continue to try to win championship.
And I'm leaving if you do that. So that's my point about ownerships. They can have the money to buy a team and do all that kind of stuff, but that doesn't mean you know how to run your organization or know how to run it properly.
But that's a tough thing. And then maybe Kevin Booth said, well, since we don't want a championship now, I don't need Mike Malone no more. I want to bring in my own guy.
Could be. All I'm saying is this didn't start yesterday. If they've been on bad terms, according to the comment there, they've been on bad terms. These bad terms ain't start yesterday. They ain't start 6 months ago. These bad terms might have even been around when they won the championship. I'm saying that's on ownership to fix that. And you don't fix it now at the end of the season. Yeah, you fix it when the season is over.
And Booth wanted to play younger pieces. Well, Malone's is the coach though, so I mean, I don't understand. I mean, Booth signed off on getting Russell here, so he's a vet. I mean, that right hand got to talk to the left hand in all cases. So I mean, at the end of the day, just like you said, Ace, I think that they're going to go through a time period where they're going to go back to being Denver again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to take maybe 3-4 years. You're going to waste Jokic. His later years, you go waste that. Going into his later years, you're going to waste a whole bunch of talent. You're going to waste a whole bunch of triple doubles from Jokic because the ownership was too lazy to get the coach and the GM on the same page.
Simple as that.
So, somebody said that the Magic City lady knocked on your door and you had to get off camera.
You got the wings and things.
Rock news. That's all I got to say.
Cause he don't lemon pimping Lou wings over there. Yeah,
See, y'all talking about Booth and Malone. I got gripes with y'all too. Y'all, so we need to hash it out right now. We need to wait till off the show. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I'm trying to figure out. So Maurice brought up a good point. Malone and Booth went. They weren't out on good terms. They didn't see eye to eye. Malone wanted to play veterans, and Booth wanted him to play younger players. But who's the coach?
That's it.
And the thing about it is, coach, is that when Malone was there already, you bring in a GM from Minnesota to be his boss and tell Malone, I want you to teach him to be your boss. I mean, do you think that's go well off the rip? And then once you win a championship with Kevin Booth first year, now Kevin Booth said, well, Malone is really like my guy, so I don't really need him. I want to bring in my own guy.
But I mean, but the whole thing of and I heard people say this, you trying to string this part of this. Somebody said it's Joker's fault. I'm like, really? Somebody said it's Westbrook's fault. I'm like, I mean, you can't pin it on the players. And then the timing is so terrible, though. That's what I'm looking at, the timing of the thing. You trying to get into the they really could almost be in the play-in game if they're not careful, because they in that tiebreaker. So, this is not the time to be falling apart.
I got to step away for a second.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, this is not the time to be falling apart and acting like everything is going wrong. And for Zavada said, you think Joker gonna say deuces? No, he's not going anywhere. I don't think he is.
Yeah. Well, Coach, I guess you gave Asa the Magic City number. You gave him the number. You didn't send it to me. What's going on?
Saving it for big for the grill. That's all I can say.
Okay, saving it for the grill. All right, I got you. Yeah, Joker. I don't think Joker going nowhere. I think he's locked in Denver. So, yeah, I don't think he's going. Where can he go? I mean, this ain't PlayStation.
No, you just can't up and leave. Think it's all good. No.
Yeah. All right. So, Coach, we're finna get to a subject that's right up your alley. Gino is back. Women's basketball allure. Gino Amoral, well, however you say his last name. Gino is back. They Ariema. He goes to the championship game, and what we call it, Woodshed took South Carolina behind the woodshed and broke them off.
Beat them like a rented mule.
So, your thoughts on Gino being back and what he has done, and how big of an accomplishment this is for UConn to be back in the fold again? Well,
just go look at the list of girls who played for Gino, and that should tell you everything right there. Gino told everybody when Bud got hurt and he had some injuries, he said, when I get everybody healthy, I'm coming back to reclaim my title. And just as sure as Peachtree go through Buckhead, here comes Sarah Strong, here come Fudd, here come Beckers, all those girls on the floor. In South Carolina, I have no idea how they look so confused and just couldn't make shots. And Gino said, okay, if y'all not going to shoot, well, we going to show y'all how this thing done. And UConn played the perfect example of team ball and beat South Carolina. Now, truth be told, let's be warned now. This is not, some people, which is the most ridiculous thing in the world, were calling for Don Staley to retire. I said, what are you thinking about? Retire? After going to national championship, winning 2 out of 4 years national champion, now you wanted to retire? And it just was the fact that UConn was just on point. That was a machine that couldn't be stopped. they were hitting everything. I just sat there and watched them just hit everything. And the announcer, he kills me, Ryan Rucco. Every time he sees somebody on the road, they hit a shot. He said, "You bet." He said that a whole lot when the UConn was shooting because they were just hitting. I mean, you can't stop a team like that.
I think Dad said it right, just right here. South Carolina could have played error-free basketball when nobody go beat them.
Yeah, Dad, you're exactly right. The UConn was just their night, just their tournament. But he had everybody healthy, and he said, "I'm coming back." Now, he ain't stopped though, because while Don has gone out and gotten Latson from Florida State in the transfer, which is Raven Johnson's high school teammate at Westlake. Gino said, "Okay, touche." He got a girl coming in 6'6".
No.
Overseas. So he got another girl 6'2". He got a point guard that's, I think, top 20 in the nation. So Gino is not wasting time. Gino said, I'm a guy.
And Miles transferred to TCU from Notre Dame.
That's kind of an odd move right there. I got to find the explanation why TCU. It must be something. It must be that Neal money, Neal. It must be some of that Neal money to go to TCU.
Yeah, maybe that's the recovery center for basketball.
I guess so, because Van Lith has come out of nowhere to be moved up in the draft, and then she on Sports Illustrated swimsuit model. I said, "What? Yeah. Go on, Haley."
Hey, Asa,
come a long way.
Asa, coach said you can pass me the Magic City number. Now it's my turn.
Hey, just get it with some ranch. You good to go.
Asa must have ate all this wings before he came back on camera. All right, Asa, we talking about Gino Auriemma. Is he back? And how and why is he back? Because with Sarah Strong and Beckers and Fudd and Strong coming back next year, Coach just announced that he got a 6'6" girl coming in from overseas and another 6'2" and another point guard coming in.
It's about to be a power struggle. South Carolina getting recruits. They digging out of the ACC. They got the center from Florida State that's in the portal going there. It's about to be an arms race between Gino and Don. But I will say this about Gino. I'm gonna put it out there. We talked about it on our show on Monday. I don't know if you peeped in or not, but I think Gino's about to go down as the greatest coach. Period. Across all. You know what I mean? Just coach. Period. He got 12.
Yeah, if he get 15, he gonna have to be in the conversation for sure.
Well, yeah, so he come to me. He could be in the conversation now because he's done multiple in what 3-4 decades now.
He done three-peated twice, right?
Yeah, and undefeated. One of those 3 pieces undefeated.
Yeah.
Yeah. You still gotta. I still gotta look at what's his name as the man. You talking about in women's or all?
I'm talking about NFL, Major League Baseball. A team sport oriented, I think he is the GOAT of the GOATs.
What about Wooden?
Wooden got 12.
Wooden is up there. Wooden won so many in a row. It's hard to say. It's hard to count.
Here's why. This is why I say I got to sit down and come up with a parameter, right? Nothing against Wooden, but I think Wooden at that time you were always able to keep your players for 4 years. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So nobody was leaving, things of that nature.
Hold on before you continue. I got a comment in the thing, but I'm gonna say this before I'm gonna take the first shot because I know Coach coming at me. But Coach is gonna dig in the crates to pull some out the crates. And he went all the way to John Wooden, and nobody saw him coach but him. All right, there you go, Asa. There you go. You can answer that question.
How long before they put an arena? Oh, they should build one next year.
Next year.
They should be getting one built this summer to put up next year. Don't wait for that man. Don't wait for that man to retire.
Yeah, Sports Center go sponsor it because
Yeah.
that's one of their ESPN is one of their sponsors.
Yeah, don't wait for that man to retire. Like, go ahead and do it. Get it started. I don't know how long it takes to make these monuments. I assume probably like 2 years or whatever. They should start right now. Start making it now and have it up.
Now, South Carolina and UConn, could this be a repeat for the next 3 years in the championship game?
In the Final Four, yeah, I think it's about to be an arm race. Yes.
Now, if Juju come back strong now, then
I'm not sure. Is Juju coming back, or is she gonna go ahead and when she heal up, just go ahead and enter the WNBA draft?
I'm not sure. I think she will be back.
You do? I don't think so.
You don't
think so either. I think if she hadn't gotten hurt this year, I think however far they would have made it this year, which to me I thought they would have made a championship with her.
Yeah, they were running to South Carolina first before UConn.
Well, I mean that would have been wonderful to watch, right? And so in my bracket I had USC beating South Carolina because of Juju in the backcourt. So I'm with you, Coach. I don't think she comes back once she's healthy. I think she goes ahead and becomes a pro.
So if she declares and goes, do you trust the injury without showing that she's okay?
Oh yeah. I mean, nowadays, look at Paige Becker. She kind of had the same injury. You see anything fall off with her?
Thank you, Asa. That Paige Becker, yeah.
So
to your point, Coach Asa, if Paige Beckers never get hurt,
she's CC before CC.
Do we even hear of CC?
Nope. We hear of her, but not like the way we heard of her.
Okay.
Paige Becker don't get hurt. Gino might have, what, he got 12? He might have 14, 15. you know what I mean? I feel like she was the catalyst to what he was trying to do before she got hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I won't say we don't hear about CC because she's a great player, but
she wouldn't have got the hype that she actually got.
Correct. She doesn't.
Paige Becker would have been splitting that hype with her.
Yeah. Exactly.
Quietly, let me whisper it quietly. Emily Kitts, center from Florida, has entered the transfer portal. Guess who her sister is? Chloe Kitts from South Carolina. Oops.
Uh-oh.
Toya is an arm race. We about to see
point guard UCLA Rice. Guess who her dad is?
Oh, Jerry?
No, Jerry not her dad.
No. Don't pay attention to the name.
That's what I was paying attention to.
Yeah, Allen Houston.
What?
Oh wow.
Yeah, Allen Houston. That's his daughter.
Oh. Yeah, you.
That's why you have to listen to SRT, because we come with all kind of news and information and things of that nature. Yeah, Rice is Allen Houston's daughter.
Wow.
Yeah, you're right there. So you are exactly right. But I'm gonna tell you this: Sarah Strong may be player of the year next year in college basketball.
Yeah, Strong is dangerous.
Yeah, she can hoop, bro. She can straight get to you. Outside, inside. She can screen well. She rebounds well, and she can outlet.
She made me think about Candace Parker. Go to the hole, hit you hard in the hole, and then pull up on you outside and laugh at you like, yeah.
Yeah, she dangerous. I like her. So, Coach, I do have to ask you this: is since South Carolina and Dunn is dipping in the portal, what's going to happen to Malaysia now?
That's the $1 million question. But I think she answered, my lady Fulwiler answered that question because she said, and I quote, South Carolina and UConn about to be the rivalry for the next few years because both of us are young. Both of us have young players. So we're going to be the rivalry because we got some get back for them. That's what she said, unquote.
Okay.
It's an arm race that's going to be interesting to watch.
She didn't play as much as people thought she should have played last year. And with the portal is what they bring into the portal, she might not. It might be looking the same this year coming up.
Yeah. She said she wants UConn and South Carolina to be going at each other for the next few years. I said, okay.
So that means she's staying.
That means she's staying.
All right. Well, we'll see. You know, these young folk, they change their mind in the heartbeat now, Coach.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
They change their mind in a heartbeat. It don't take nothing but dollar signs and opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I think for women's basketball, though, right now, you already know who the two dominant programs, and she's not going to slide over to LSU. Are you going to go out west? You know, I think to her point, everybody knows where is that? Is Two Notch Road in Columbia and ESPN's counterpart in UConn.
Oh yeah, what do y'all think about Flau'jae coming back?
She making more money in college. That means that's all that means.
Yeah, you start looking at the WNBA's salary compared to NIL. I stay in college too. Gonna make more money, gonna get free meals.
Yeah. And can concentrate on her rap album.
Got somewhere to stay for free. Ain't gotta worry about, you know what I mean? She good to go. She is good to go. I like it. I want to see if the WNBA can capitalize on this influx of good talent coming out of college, though. And they all got name recognition, right? You know what I mean? We know who the Jujus are. And, you know, y'all were talking about the young lady out of TCU, where she's done been to 3 schools and made to the Elite 8 everywhere she went. So you got to assume when she gets to the WNBA, she gonna help them make it to the playoffs at least. So it's like, you know, they have a good this year and even next year they're gonna have 3-4 years in a row. You got good talent, known talent coming into the league. It'll be interesting to see if the WNBA can capitalize on this
If the WNBA mess this up, then they deserve to fold. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
If they mess this up with all these girls coming in, they deserve to just tell the league go. Say goodbye.
I agree, Coach.
But I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure about that now.
You don't think she's gonna be the head dog? Raven Johnson has stopped shooting for some reason.
Well, you got the leading scorer of the nation coming in, so I'm not sure if the lead dog may not be coming in right now.
Fulwiler gonna do her thing. I don't care with that lineup. Fulwiler, Latson from Florida State. You got Kitts. You got John. They got a solid lineup coming back.
So you said she just entered the portal. Now you done already put on the team. So are you breaking some news as well?
Who on the portal?
You said Kitts is in the portal.
Yeah. I didn't say. I'm talking about Kitts that's there now. She's just a junior.
Oh, okay, I got you.
The center that is there now. She's just a junior. Her sister might be coming.
Oh, I thought that's the Kitts you were talking about. My bad.
Right. But both teams got solid lineup. Even though I'm gonna have to pause for a moment of silence because my girl is leaving. My little Pow is leaving. Tina Pow is leaving. I love my little Tina.
Cause I have to make a correction, y'all. Allen Houston that's her cousin. Kiki Rice is the cousin of Allen Houston.
Okay.
They was on fathers and daughters, and he just happened to be on there, and and yeah, they cousins, and not.
So your hot news got a little too hot for a minute.
You already know. All right, go move on to our last hot news topic is how many first round NFL running backs will be drafted. Now, I'm asking this because the running backs are seemingly having a comeback. And now everybody seems to know that you have to do the dual running back with one big dog. Somebody can run for 1,300 yards and things of that nature. But at the same time, you still need a bell cow. And you got Harmon from USC, not USC, North Carolina.
Hampton?
Yeah.
From North Carolina.
From North Carolina. I said, who did I say? Yeah, I meant Hampton. Hampton and what's the boy from Boise State?
Genty.
You got Genty and Hampton, the first two that's probably gonna be off the board. But will both of them go in the first round is my question.
No,
both not going in the first round?
No, sir.
Who getting picked first then? Genty?
The influx of this is more of a defensive draft this year, other than those quarterbacks, Sanders and Ward, and maybe one more. It's more of a defensive line, offensive line draft this year. I don't think skill positions are going to be. There's going to be some skilled people taken, like McMillan from Arizona, and there's a couple more. But mostly, I think a lot of people are doing defense and offensive line this year in the first round.
Okay.
Yeah, somehow Dart's going to slide up in there some kind of way.
If Jackson Dart go in the first round, Asa, I apologize to both of y'all.
Nah, he's not going first round. But I'm just saying, to your point, as far as he might wind up being the third quarterback pick, but it won't be first round. But
yeah, that boy, they really putting Shedeur on a bad level. I don't like that.
Yeah,
I already told you it's going to work out for y'all. Though it's going to work out for Pittsburgh. It's going to work out for y'all.
No, sir. Somebody new has entered the fold.
And that would be
the Saints. They said the Saints are ideal because there's no cold weather. They played in Colorado. They were questioning his arm strength and everything. You got warm weather cities and you got domes to play in. So they should thrive. So the Saints better not pass that up. With Derek, I can't drive my car at quarterback. He said there's no way they should pass that up. Give him a year. If he had to sit a year, that's fine, and then Shedeur takes over. But if he falls to the Steelers, Asa, I just want to say thank you for putting that out there. And right now, saying Shedeur to the Steelers, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
I think there's so many holes. When it comes to the Saints, they got so much going on. I get it, though. That would be a good pick for them. I still think we underestimating how much Dion is making moves behind the scenes. And so, and nobody's. I think when it's all said and done, we'll get the behind the scenes stuff, depending on where Shedeur lands, how much he was involved or not involved behind the scenes. But I'm with you, though. I think Ward goes first. I think Genty is the first running back taken. And so
what about the running backs out of Ohio State? Could they possibly go first round? But y'all already said no.
Nah, they'll be second round, day two guys. To the coach's point, a lot of this is going to be the non-sexy picks. O-line, D-line, some safeties, things of that nature. Teams are really going this draft, pick what they need, not what most teams always pick what they need, right? But sometimes you got teams that make a splash. But I think everybody's set into what they want and what they need. So the Saints, to coach's point, might be a surprise on who they pick. I think Cleveland might be a surprise on who they pick with all the turmoil they got. Do they go with a defensive guy to maximize to justify the money they gave to What's his name?
Yeah.
Who is that?
What's the D lineman for Cleveland Browns?
No,
Gilbert,
Myles
not
Garrett.
Gilbert.
Miles Garrett.
Yeah.
But I mean, but do they go and get a rookie to because you're going to
Asa.
figure Miles is going to get. What you need to do is have someone on the D line that can help him continue to have one-on-one matchups. So does Cleveland make a decision to get someone that's not offensive, but someone that's defensive minded to match up with him? So there's a lot of question marks there. Yeah.
Be the Cleveland GM, Asa. If you had a chance to get Travis Hunter, would you?
I might be the only person that's not sold on him.
Okay.
So no, I wouldn't.
All right, so I got to go back to Colts. Going back to these running backs. Colts love this guy, Cameron Scatterboo. First
Fourth
round,
round.
second round,
Third,
round?
fourth.
third or fourth.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan Sampson, Tennessee.
Fourth.
Trayvon Henderson, Ohio State.
Third or fourth.
Judkins, Ohio State.
Third or fourth.
Caleb Johnson, Iowa.
Fourth, maybe fifth.
Damn.
This is not a running back draft. It's not really.
Okay, so I understand what you're saying, Coach. The Trevor Etienne.
Oh, Come out from Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be continued.
Okay. Jalen Blue, Texas.
Yeah, down there at the fifth, sixth.
All right. So basically we're gonna have some Terrell Davis's type running backs in this draft.
Yes, sir.
Pick late, but do good.
Yeah.
Sleepers in this draft for the running backs for sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Coach. I think this one was for you right here in the chat. Since you were naming off all the other folks.
Quinn Ewers.
Yeah.
Fourth, late third, somewhere in there.
I think Quinn Ewers is going to wind up third round and wind up with the Rams and going to wind up with that genius. And everybody's going to be like, oh, he was a steal.
Yeah. He'll be down there. Yeah.
All right, fellas. With that being said, that's going to end our hot news. And Coach said it was steaming hot tonight as I was trying to get Allen Houston another child. He already got 7. I didn't want to add 8 to it. Allen Houston got 7 kids, boy. I tell you.
Yeah, he's been real hot news.
Yeah, he can't miss, could he? He got a basketball team and 2 subs. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Allen. Do your thing. Louisville, Kentucky is in the building, baby. All right. We got baller buses and boy stop coming up. Let's go. All right, here we go. Baller buses and boy stop. My baller this week, shouts out to I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Don for going to the finals in the women's basketball, but immediately signing a top flight player and about to get another top flight player out of the portal as well. So shout out to Don Staley for recovering very, very fast with her $7,500 Louis Vuitton jogging suit. Hello. So that's my baller. Y'all go ahead and put your ballers and buses in the chat so we can read them over. Asa, it's on you. What's your baller for the week?
The Braves, they won a game.
They won 2 games, yeah.
2, you know what I mean? Let's go.
Yeah, they 2-8. That's 2-8. That just sounds
Stop
bad.
the press.
Yeah, for sure. And they 0-0 right now, bottom of the third with Marcell Ozuna at the bat. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and
Might be a home run coming.
yeah, I'm not sure. He got robbed the other night, first at bat, but we'll see. All right, Coach, who you got for your baller this week?
My ball is gonna be here. We go. The no salary cap league. Vlad Guerrero, $500 million.
Yeah.
The rich just keep getting richer.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Vlad, baby. 500 kangaroos in the
Oof.
building.
I
Good
mean,
God.
go back to New Jack City. The rich keep getting richer, and the poor don't get a blank. So hey, Vlad say, y'all pay me, I'm take care of that. You know they ain't gonna win no championships, but hey, Vlad gonna do his part. He said I can't carry the team. So well, he didn't say that, but I'm just listening to him getting 500 million on a team that ain't gonna win a world championship. But hey,
Ugh. They baseball printing money, ain't they?
that's what I'm saying. They just got a machine in the office. Yeah, crank the machine up.
Hey, so let me ask y'all this. If you was a baseball player and was signing a big deal, what's the most and the least amount of years you would sign a contract for? In your prime. Let's say you 25 years old. In your prime.
5 years. 5 to 7. Because a lot of that money's backloaded. So when they gave Tatis that 15-year, whatever it was, most of that money's on the tail end. I want my money now. I want my money quickly. So if
So I used to say 5 years. What about you, Cole? What's your max in minimum?
I'm making a phone call to 1-800 Barry Bond, not Barry Bond, Bobby Bonilla. I want his contract. We're gonna work it like that, so y'all can be happy. I ain't got to pay me all everything, but just let me be set for the rest of my life. Every certain July the 18th, I can look at the direct deposit. Let's see, 12 million in there. Okay, we good. Thank y'all.
Mm-hmm. All right, we
he
got
gets
some
it
ballers
July 1st.
on to the chat. Dad say Sarah Strong is his ball. I love Sarah Strong. Yes, sir. I like Sarah Strong. Cuz say ball to the Florida Gators. He had picked Florida for a long time ago. He watched them on TV and say they the most athletic team he's seen this year. So I'm not sure if he get credit for picking them to win, but he said they were good. So
Give it to him, Ho. Give it to him.
So
Take them right.
Dez might be right about this. In 4 years, that contract gonna look like an average contract. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Get my money now.
Say he would choose 5 years. I may go 10 for 500 million. I may go 10 because you can clearly he's going to finish his career in Toronto.
Yeah.
But see, here's the problem with that though. When you go 10 years, right? So in 3, there's gonna be somebody that got a bigger deal than you.
So you say so you can always negotiate higher.
I can always negotiate and re-up again. Yeah.
Well, can't you go 10 with the last 3 being the option year?
I mean, you can do that. That's still 7 though.
Yeah,
I mean, baseball just has no filter at all. They don't care. They got no filter.
Yeah, I agree. All right, here we go. We got them buses coming up. All right, my buster this week. My buster this week. I'm not sure which way to go. I was going one way, but I switched it. So I'm a John Shire. You are saved this week. So I go do it because I've been reading and look. I've been watching The House of David on Amazon Prime. So my forgiveness bone has been activated. So I'm gonna go with Bonamy Jones for talking about how young and how Duke need to recruit, because he said that Duke didn't win because they relied on freshmen to win and that you need grown men to win. Well, grown men lost the same way the young men lost. So Bonamy Jones, you need to probably stick to commenting on HBCU's basketball, because from what I saw, Auburn is the oldest team in the NCAA, and they hasn't even get to the tournament. And Houston was the next oldest team, and they fumbled just as bad as any young team did. So,
Who is Barnaby Jones?
Some clown, the clown on the 4-letter network.
Talking about Jay Billis?
No, Bonamy, he went to Clark Atlanta.
Oh, I'm like, you threw me with that one. I'm like, Barnaby Jones. I started thinking about the old cop show.
You know who I'm talking about, Ace?
On the 4 letter, I ain't really been watching them lately. I get little snippets in there,
Yeah,
but
Barnaby Jones is a black dude, went to Clark. He's he got his own little podcast. He used to be on the 4 Letter Network.
Oh, you mean Bomani Jones?
Bomani, yeah, Bomani.
Oh, Bomani, yeah. Bomani has his own podcast now. He's independent. Okay, yeah.
He probably deserved to get his name mispronounced the way he was talking about Duke, but he a bust anyway. All right, so Bob is in the building. I should have got him on.
Bowling Bob.
He said the Braves ownership. How you gonna buy more land for parking and tell WA? Oh wow, you. Hey man, that's funny to death. Hey, you right about that,
that's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one. That is a buster for sure.
Can't talk that dog. That's messed up.
Oh, I agree with that. I didn't mean Barnaby that. Money. I meant more money. My bad.
Yeah, we was trying to figure it out. Like, hold on, I know all the black people on the 4-letter station. I'm like, hey, I said, nah. I said, no, it ain't. I got you. I said, no, it ain't Shay. I know it ain't. I was trying to think of.
Give me your buster.
Man, we talked about it earlier, man. The buster gotta go to Denver's ownership. It gotta go to them. You just don't. I don't care how bad it is. You don't fire. If you're gonna fire somebody, you fire the GM now. Okay, the GM not making no decisions till the season's over, and you ride the coach out, and then fire him whenever the playoffs are done. But you don't fire both of them with 72 hours before the playoff season starts. I own Denver ownership are the busters of the week.
Yeah.
Or if you do it, okay, the intern coach is a veteran coach who got some playoff experience. You know, maybe been around the block a couple of times. You got.
Go ahead.
You got Edelman's son who ain't never coached the game. Nothing. But that's my bust of the week. Denver's ownership.
Uh-oh. H.O. laughing at somebody.
No, there, Cole came was there and told me I was talking about Barnaby Jones, who used to wear the jacket. I ain't talking about him. But money,
Yeah, I thought about Barnaby Jones. I thought about the old cop show. I was like, oh Lord, I'm gonna age myself right there.
Yeah, but all right. So you Coach, you done did your buster?
My boy, stop.
No, you done did your buster.
Let's see.
We're going to the buster.
It's so many candidates. I'm gonna go with Luka.
Oh, you got
to be kidding me. When you keep talking, you're running your mouth, Lucy. You had to have realized, Luka.
Oh,
you already had one tech, dog. You already had one tech. Yet the referee probably didn't care who you were talking to at that time, and you got caught with another tech, but he thought you were talking to him, which he say you would. But who knows who you were talking to? Run DMC tried to tell you talk too much. You never shut up. Now he my buster and boy stop. I'm like, Luka, you gonna cost your team a championship getting in anything. You gonna be the new Draymond Green. That just ain't how dumb Draymond Green was for getting another tech, and he already had 15. That's another idiot.
Well, I don't know, Coach. You might your boy stop you might get in the car with me on my boy stop.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So, and let me go ahead and keep reading them out. Cuz say the Braves organization is his bust. Your bust or your boy stop? I guess that's his bust. Dez already putting his boy stop up. 3 games before the playoffs, sitting in the 4th spot. Man, yeah, you right. I get it.
Look at Bob.
Boy, Bob he on one tonight.
Bob on the road. He on the road tonight. Yeah, he on the road tonight.
I see.
He throwing them out.
Bus stop is the NBA refs. What's wrong with the NBA refs?
What's right with them?
Hey, I'm about to get with Cuz on that one. You can't tell me if you can hear Luka talking trash, then you can't tell me you didn't hear the fan talking trash. Like you got to pick a struggle. You know what I mean? You got to pick a struggle.
All right, well here go my boy stop. My boy stop is Jason Fat Whitlock for demeaning. He continuously goes after the Sanders family. He is trying to figure out how in the world Deion Sanders is now the fourth highest paid coach in the nation.
Oh Lord!
And how is he ahead of Sarkisian and other coaches who's done it longer?
He can't. Well, we all know he can't read the room, so it don't even matter when it comes to Whitlock.
The
But
only thing,
if they had a buffet in the room, I bet you can read it.
Yeah.
No.
the only thing the Whitlock or Fatlock should be able to tell somebody is which flavor jelly donut is cheapest. That's the only thing you tell anybody.
I was going. You must have seen one of my tweets one time about Whitlock. I was like, throw him a 12. Throw him a dozen and he'll shut up.
That's all it takes.
So, Coach, you gonna ride with me, Coach?
I'm riding with you. We can both fit in the car with him.
Yeah.
He got the front seat all to himself. Zapata, he's not gonna sit down. That requires too much. Making it too easy.
Yeah, we
made a video about this saying that how is Deion, which is making $10.8 million now, double his salary. Which was well deserved, might I add.
That we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, right, Ho? It's a drop in that 10 that they giving him is a drop in the bucket to what Colorado made last year alone.
But you personally said that he probably didn't get enough.
No. and
he's still underpaid.
And everybody in that area. I read an article that they said the restaurants, the eateries, the parking, everybody has quadrupled their money since Deion's been hired. Hotels, everything. And they're winning.
I agree. Totally agree.
So it ain't hard. You know, we all know what Whitlock is. You know what I mean? So Whitlock be in the house pointing out the people in the yard.
Yep. or get off my hamburger or whatever. You know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That biscuit eating clown boy. I tell you, he relishes this though. He likes that kind of attention. He doesn't care about people talking about him. That's the only way he gets.
Do you actually think he do this? He go after the folks to get clicks to make his.
I think he is trying to use not LeBron. He is trying to use Deion the same way Skip used LeBron.
Yeah.
If I can get to a point where I can keep Deion's name in my mouth, I will then, like to your point, Ho, I'll get clicks, I'll get my articles read, I'll get people. You know, sometimes harsh reaction is just as good. It just pays the same as praises, right? So, he's using Deion the same way Skip used LeBron, or he's trying to use Deion the same way Skip used LeBron. Only thing is, though, unlike LeBron, Deion gonna say something to him.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's crazy. It's just amazing. You got. That's the only way you make. Cause nobody knows the name of the company he works for. He's so off the grid. Don't nobody know who he works for. The name of him.
Yep.
All right, let's see what Bob got to say here.
Well, I'll say change the name to Can't Win in Prime Time. Man, Bob, I hate shooting shots. Bob,
Oh,
Bob, what got into you today, Bob?
Yeah, Bob said they're gonna have to change the name to Can't Win Prime Time.
oh. Hmm. That's
I think
interesting.
I think Prime going. I think he gonna surprise. Well, they surprised folks last year, and I think he'll surprise folks again this year. I think he'll earn. I think he'll earn this increase through wins. I haven't seen their schedule yet, but I think they'll get 9, 10 wins. I think if they can win the Big 12, obviously they'll be in the college playoff. So
Bob said you want to see what he does with Juju, the quarterback out of Carrollton, Georgia.
yeah,
That's gonna be.
we're gonna see. We're gonna see. But
Yeah.
we're gonna be watching, and that's something that Colorado hasn't had in years.
Years.
When's the last time we've talked about Buffalo's football program?
Cordell.
Yep, I'm about to say Cordell.
Hey Joe, you on mute?
Oh yeah, there we go. I'm tripping. Somebody out there blowing their horn, and so I had to make sure I was talking to.
Yeah, Bob is not a Dion fan, I see.
Well, I will say that first year, so he had top 2 players, or his son. He had some players, but that first go around, when they let Colorado State take all those cheap shots on those guys, that they took a pound of flesh out of Colorado that first season. So I think if that game hadn't have gotten as nasty as it did, that Colorado State game, I think Colorado did what they did this year, the year before. So
Yeah.
Bob said he ain't scared.
hey, yeah, listen, hey.
Well, it remains
This-
to be seen. We're gonna have to see.
The-
We're gonna have to win with. Well, there's no doubt though, Bob, that he has brought plenty of money to the city and the state of Boulder. And
Boulder, yeah.
yeah, the city of Boulder is getting richer and richer. I'm pretty sure that the housing and the real estate market is going up as well. Now, if that goes up, he's really making moves.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many folks, and I didn't even realize it last year. I didn't see the schedule, but a lot of folks who went to the Colorado Buffaloes game because Atlanta was playing Denver that Sunday. So they
Yeah.
went out there for the whole weekend.
Yeah,
Caught
the Buffaloes and the Broncos and
the Broncos. Yeah,
in between that, they probably did a little.
the little Amsterdam.
Hey, just a little recreation.
So again, he is and I think Bob, I hear you, but I think also the way the landscape is now in college football fits Dion perfectly. It fits him perfectly. So he this is the way they're going to be recruiting kids now is going to be totally different from the old days. So and don't let Shador or Travis Hunter have a great rookie season in the NFL. Don't let that happen. Then all he got to do is sit there and point and be like, listen, you come to me and get in my program, you're going to be sitting here like my 2 sons.
Yeah, for sure.
So, don't let them have a great year, rookie year in the NFL. Oh man. And you see everybody else kind of imitating it. North Carolina went and hired Belichick. And you see other colleges trying to imitate what Colorado has done with Dion and hiring NFL, So
with that being said, man, let's go ahead and jump into our roundtable discussion, which is sponsored by our good old friend Bo Bell Basketball. Bo Bell Basketball is the place to be when you talk about improving your basketball game. He has 3 different locations: Midtown, North, and South. Go to CoachBoBellBasketball.com for more information. If you're trying to get your improve your basketball game, what he says, feet work is the key to getting it done. All right, so I'm gonna go back to some of these comments. Cuz said Colorado's in the heart of, so he's trying to educate us, I guess. Let's see. Bob says that he thinks he sees it on the field at some point this year. Probably.
Depending on where he goes. Depending on where he goes. Depends on who drafts him.
All right, so roundtable discussion. Let's talk about this. Are we slipping on the Houston Rockets? Houston Rockets done ran through the Lakers. They ran through OKC. Let's really talk about the Houston Rockets and what Emeka, I'm going to say Emeka Okafor. What's the Houston coach name?
Who was that?
For Houston.
Udoka.
Udoka,
yeah.
I'm going to say Emeka Okafor.
When you said it, I couldn't get it out either. Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about Houston, and are we slipping on the Houston Rockets right now? They ran through the Lakers, they ran through OKC within a week. And they're sitting in the 3rd spot. They could possibly move up to the 2nd spot by the end of the season. So what are we doing? What are we thinking about Houston? Are they making a run? Are we slipping on Udoka's coaching ability? Or what we got going on with Houston? We talked about OKC most of this year as the young team that is thriving. But Houston showed them this week that Houston is not to be played with. So, once again, what are we thinking about Houston? Asa, we're going to start with you.
Oh, I think it's a couple. So, everybody's saying, you know what, these teams are too young to make a run, to make a run to the championship. It doesn't happen that way in the NBA, blah. And to their point, that is true when you look back. But this is the new NBA now. And you had some teams that have made horrible decisions. So as much as we talk about Denver being a veteran team that can make a run, you fire your coach. So so now the playing field is even, right? The Lakers, somewhat of a veteran team with Luka and LeBron, but they don't have any size. So I think it is in the West, it is OKC or Houston, because to your point, great coaching there, or Minnesota because they're younger. They're not as young, obviously, as Houston or OKC, but they have a young core. I think in the West, it is all about the youth. It's a youth movement, and so I don't see why not.
Okay, Bob is on the same point. I guess y'all agree with Lisa to this. But my question to that point, Bob, is Jalen Green a closer? Can he be a closer in playoff moments? Asa, you can answer that as well.
Didn't he close? He closed a little bit. He closed a little bit when he was at Golden State a couple years ago.
Jalen Green?
Oh, Jalen Green. I'm thinking about Green. No, my bad. No. So I got more trust in Udoka and putting them in the right position. At some point, you got to do it, right? I mean, at some point, LeBron had to close. At some point, Jordan had to close. Shoot, you could say LeBron and Jordan closed, and they still were losing. When Jordan was getting his chops, losing to Boston, he was closing. 63 is closing to me in the playoff game. So
he was just getting his stats. So that was
but he didn't have any help, right? You could say the same thing with LeBron his first couple of years. He didn't have the proper help. I think Houston is a complete team, and they have the coaching. I think Oklahoma City is a complete team, and they have the coaching. So I'm not worried about the youth anymore. I think they're complete teams.
All right, Coach, what you got? You trust in Houston? Can
I
Jalen
feel
Green
that Ute is going to be a problem for Houston. The Ute. I think it might rear its head in those situations in the playoffs. Can Houston be good? Yes. Will they win the championship? No. They may make some noise, but that first round of the West is going to be one of the most violent first rounds in the history of basketball. You got some teams going at each other. That's going to be some tough basketball, and the winners out of those teams are going to be legit NBA championship contenders for this year. Houston, if they can survive the first round, hey, they might be able to do something. Let's see, Van Vliet and Adams. Adams gonna come in there and try to hurt somebody. That he knows his role. He ain't trying to score. He coming in and try to pound and beat you. Sengun is one of the most. I agree, Bob. He's one of the most underrated players in NBA right now because he scores and rebounds. But Van Vliet hit a big shot, but you still got a team of mostly Ute, and that's what I'm looking at Oklahoma City. They look good. They look like a shiny new item that you want to buy from the store, but hasn't been tested yet.
I mean, they earned their lumps last year, so this will be this second go around with this same group from last year. So did they get enough experience last year? Hey, if the playoffs started today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma City would play Minnesota. Woo! To your point, Coach. To your point, that's a rough one because Minnesota was just in the Western Conference last year, weren't they? Before they lost to Dallas.
Houston is in the second spot. I thought.
I say Houston's in 2. Houston would play. Now I think Houston would be able to take care of Memphis if that's wind up being a 2-7. I think on the way out. That's why I'm saying with then 3 and 6 would be Lakers and Warriors. There's a chance the Lakers may not even get the first round.
Yeah, true.
So I'm saying the way this thing could break, you could have either Oklahoma or Houston in the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob said his pick is still OKC.
Yeah. Now, let me side note for a minute, because I saw something. I know this is totally HO with your permission, please.
Yeah, but he had to put Duke in his comment, so I'm go ahead.
HO with your permission.
Yeah, go ahead. You got it.
When you said they made me think about something. It's totally off the grid what we're talking about. They're talking about Steph Curry is the greatest point guard of all time. Is he really considered a point guard?
By size, yes. By play,
Wouldn't he be more of a shooting guard?
The way they ran that,
yeah. Say the same thing about Iverson, though, okay?
Yeah, but Iverson did distribute. I don't think Steph gets enough. They said Steph was greater than Magic when I just turned the page.
Oh, no.
I said, obviously your medicine has expired when you say that, so I'm gonna move on.
No. Depending on how you want to frame the question about Steph, he could be your 2 or maybe 1 as far as guards. But how you frame the question, he gonna be your top 3 as guards. But when you start, bringing bringing it down to the 2 guard, a point guard or whatever. Nah, it's he.
But
Shoot.
so listen to this. This
He-
is how you do it. Based on the definition of what a point guard is, you can't loop that with saying that he's the greatest shooter of all time. They just don't go together.
Correct.
Right.
They just don't go together.
Yeah. Listen, if you talking about purely being a point guard, listen, he might be 5, he might be 6 or 7 on my list. I got people like Jason Kidd ahead of him
Yeah.
as a point guard.
At this point, are we even talking about positions at this point? The way we've gone for the last 10 years?
That's my point. If you're talking about positionless players, then yeah, he's gonna be in your top 5. He's gonna be there. But when you got to put him into a bucket, he to me is not gonna go into as point guard. I would put him in as a 2 guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. Because that's like saying was Charles Barkley a small forward or a power forward?
Yep. He played the 4 though, right? He's listed as the 4.
And, but Bob, there's no question, Bob, without a doubt. And I don't know why people even try to make that even a comparison. Steph Curry and Magic Johnson. Come on, stop.
No. Now they've both changed the game in their own special way, but Magic is still the best. Magic is still
Now,
top.
if Steph had more assists than points, then I would say yeah. But when you got more points than assists, then
Well, I mean, if that's the case, then you got John Stockton up there.
But he was actually a point guard though.
Yeah. But that kind of goes back to the whole Ovechkin Gretzky thing. Just because you have more of whatever in a particular category doesn't automatically make you the best in that category.
Right.
No, I agree for sure. But speaking of Steph Curry, has he proven this year that he is in the GOAT conversation, or at least the top
Ooh.
5?
If they mess around and let him get one more ring, because that would mean these last 2 rings he got with the team that he has around him, you would almost listen. I say this, I would say this right now. If they happen to win a ring, if he wins one more ring before he retires, he has more of an argument to be a GOAT than LeBron James.
He need to. Oh, excuse me. He need to, in all honesty, thank Jimmy Butler and buying dinner every night, because Jimmy Butler has revitalized that team big time and given
But
them
this man won a ring a couple of years ago with Wiggins.
Yeah. With Butler's added to the lineup, I think they're like 20-something and 3, 21 and 3, something like that. I'm like, and Draymond Green sitting somewhere talking about, well, I got a triple single. And then see how they switched up for him. Now they saying, yeah, Draymond should be the defensive player of the year. Why y'all keep trying to give him accolades and he can't average a double in nothing? He keep trying to give Draymond something. He get an average double points and turnover. I mean, not turnovers, technicals.
I think with Jimmy Butler being in now, Draymond does not have to be the focal point of the offense. And that frees him up to concentrate more on defense and to, be able to score in timely moments. Before Jimmy got there, you still had the original 3, him, Clay, and Steph. In that setup, in that format, he was still looked to be the way defense would play Golden State, the ball would wind up in his hand. And so now with Jimmy there and a couple other young guys, when you play Golden State defensively, that ball winds up into a much better shooter or a much better offensive player. So Jimmy has definitely stabilized that offense. And I think Steph has been playing his best ball the last 3 years or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say I think if they can squeeze one more championship out of Steph, or he can get one more, and now he gets one with a Wiggins, and then he gets one without Clay being there. We having an argument about who's been the most dominant player of this generation, and it may not fall in LeBron's favor if he can get one more.
You know, probably. I wonder how disappointed what's his name is right now. Clay, if he had stayed with that team, and then they get Butler.
Listen, I think Clay would. I think Dallas would be in this conversation if AD didn't get hurt.
Well, they had everybody hurt,
and everybody got hurt. So
Kyrie.
Yeah. So I mean, next year Dallas might be that team that makes that one run to a finals if everybody can stay healthy.
Yeah.
All right, before we get to our fun bag, let's have a little fun with a little 3-point shot. The longest streak of not losing 3 games in a row. There's 5 players on this list. The longest streak without losing three games in a row. Can we get anybody on this list? Can we get 4?
I think I can get 2. I think one is MJ. I think that's my answer. I want to say 90 to 93. That first 3-peat. I don't think they ever had a 3-game losing streak. I think it was.
This is okay. So the longest streak, which means that they went however many games without losing 3 in a row.
You saying just basketball, right?
Just basketball, yeah.
Oh, just basketball. Okay. So Chicago. So you name a player or the teams?
The player.
Okay. Actually, okay. If that's the case, I might be able to get 3 of them. Let me see. So Jordan Bulls 1 year, Jordan Bulls, Bird Celtics.
Jordan Bird. That's 2.
Magic with the Lakers.
He's not on this list.
Oh wow, they didn't. They never got. Oh wow, I thought they would have been on there for sure. Showtime. So we got 2, right?
Yeah, you got 2.
What about Malone with the Sixers?
No.
They only had that 1 year when they went to 4-4-4. Anyway.
This list. Come on, y'all in the chat. Give me some help in the chat. Let's go.
We got 2. Okay, so this he said it's all basketball, right? So we got 3 more to get.
Pippen is not on the list.
Isaiah Thomas?
Nope.
Clyde Drexler?
Nope.
It got to be somebody in coaches era.
Wait,
No.
whoa.
Nope, not Kareem.
Nah.
We just got through talking about this player.
Curry?
Yeah, Steph is on the list.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh wow. See, to your point, Asa. To your point. This is a notch to your point where he's eliminating people in this era where he could be possibly be considered the greatest in the era.
Yeah. Okay.
Bob, I'm gonna get you. Don't come on the show again, Bob. Don't ever come on the show. I'm gonna get you.
No, Barkley is not on the list.
No, that's what Bob said.
I heard. I'm gonna put it up.
Bob.
All right, we got 2 more. We got 3. We got Michael, Bird, and Steph.
Got
2 more.
2 more. Elijah?
Nope. Nope, not Durant, and not who is that? Sloan. Who?
That would have been Malone and Stockton. My man that played for San Antonio.
You're trying to say Malone? All right, so I'm gonna guess y'all give up because it's time for the fun bag. Yes, Shaq is on the list, Bob. Shaq is.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all better recognize Shaq is on the list. Shaq is on the list. He went 291 games without losing 3 games in a row. Jordan, 626 games without losing. Shaq, number 2. Shaq 4. Curry, 314 games without winning 3 in a row. We already got Kobe, Bob, so I guess you cheated because you heard me say Kobe. Bird, 284. And we got one more.
Duncan?
Oh, I'm sorry. Shaq. It was Shaq and Kobe. I'm sorry, Bob.
Oh, so that's okay.
Okay.
That's the 5. So Shaq, Kobe, Steph, and
Bird and Michael.
And Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! Y'all mess around and let that young boy from Davidson get one more ring.
That's an impressive.
LeBron will play till he's 50.
What name we didn't call that's not on the list?
I just said it. LBJ, LeBron James. Y'all let Steph Curry get one more ring. LeBron played till he's 50.
Once again, to your point, Curry could be the GOAT of this era.
Yeah.
If he get another one. Yeah, man.
I did not know that though, as far as not losing 3 in a row to go that long. Man.
That's some good information, huh, Ace?
Yeah.
So I think you like coming on here to get all the information and take it back.
Oh, I'm gonna go on the Jeopardy Sports Show. I'm gonna credit you.
My man. But guess what time it is now, y'all?
Fun bag, ain't it?
SRT Fun Bag.
Uh-oh. Get the bag open.
Yes, sir. Let's get this bag open, baby. It's SRT Fun Bag is back. Ready, set, go. We got 5 questions. It's 30 seconds to answer each question. Simple as that. All right, first question is this. All right, y'all, let me put my comments on the comments so we can get all these answers coming from the tenants. All right, first question. We all made Kool-Aid when we were kids. Kool-Aid ingredients, you got Kool-Aid, water, and sugar. Name the process of how you make Kool-Aid. What do you put in first and what do you put in last?
Kool-Aid, water, sugar.
Kool-Aid, water, then the sugar.
No, I'll take it back. Water, Kool-Aid, and sugar. I'm sorry.
Water, Kool-Aid, then the sugar.
This gonna sound like drug. This gonna sound like drug making here. You gotta put the powder in first. You gotta put your powder in first, baby. You put the powder in, then you put the water, and then you put the sugar, and then you stir.
Breaking Bad.
So it's the Kool-Aid. So Kool-Aid, water, and then the sugar.
Then sugar, yeah.
All right, let's see. Let's see what Bob got. Bob say 10 pounds of sugar, Kool-Aid.
Bob using 2 bags. Using 2 bags of the Dixie.
So this is the question though: is the water hot or is it from the faucet?
Oh,
because
from the faucet,
hot, but the water hot dissolves the sugar better.
Gotta be warm, not hot though. Gotta be warm. Gotta be warm though, because not hot, but it gotta be warm or room temperature. So you use the faucet. Right. You use cold water, the sugar don't hit as hard as it's supposed to be.
I got you. Cold. What you using? What kind of water? Cold water or warm water?
I'm using tap, baby.
Right. Let me see. Dad said Kool-Aid, add sugar, then the water. So he going Kool-Aid, sugar, then the water. Okay, I think that's. And Dad say the hot water, baby, helps with the mix.
Yeah, we got some Breaking Bad contestants.
And they forgetting though, you gotta be stirring while you pour it in there. You know what I mean? You gotta be stirring. You got.
All right, here go. Question number 2. If you were a brand ambassador, if you had a brand ambassador deal, you get to either wear or promote the product 3 times a week, plus you get a check. What brand ambassador are you supporting or you advertising for?
Nike.
Okay, so you got to wear Nike, some type of Nike 3 times a week, and then you go get a check from Nike.
Yes, sir.
All right. Hold on, let me go back to the Kool-Aid. Tracy said Kool-Aid, sugar, then water from tap. Okay.
Hey, we all about the tap, baby. Listen to the tap.
What's your brand ambassador? Who you branding? Who you gonna be a brand ambassador for?
I'm throwing on some polo.
Polo.
Mm.
So you got to wear polo 3 times a week, and you get a
Not
check.
a problem. Not a problem.
Boy, when I was working at old what is it, McRae's back in the day, polo was the thing.
That's what I'm saying.
I made sure that section was clean. Yeah, y'all come on, here it is. See this shirt right here?
I'm going with the Lexus truck. Well, Lexus.
Okay.
Period. Going with Lexus. Drive it every day and get a check.
Watch Bob now.
Yeah, I see him. Bob out of
Bob wilding out.
Trojan.
Bob wife must be she either out of town or in the kitchen. All right, so this gonna be right up, Jason. Maybe we should have had Jason Whitlock on for this question. What else needs to be added to the all-you-can-eat buffet?
What's that?
What else needs to be added to the all-you-can-eat buffet?
Oh, they got chili dogs.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they got chili. They got hot dog. I can't think of it. I got it. It's right on the tip.
You can go brunch too if you need to.
Hey man, don't laugh. I did that coming out of church. Me and my partner, we used to go there, leave 8 o'clock service, get there around breakfast time, and just let it flow on into lunch. We were ready.
All right, hey, so what you got? What needs to be added to the buffet? Bob said ribs. I can agree with that.
I was about to say, what's the Jamaican no
oxtail?
Oxtails.
I said add oxtails to the buffet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say crab. I'm gonna say crab legs.
Okay.
If they had either one of those, they had to keep replenishing every 5 minutes.
Matter of fact, you did bring mine to my table.
Oh, I had something to say, but I'm gonna wait, H.O. I had something to say.
All right.
I'm gonna save it.
All right, let's see. Oh, he changed his ball. You say Luka got 30 at the half. All right. Question number 4. Name a movie you had to watch more than 2 times just to really get it.
Ooh,
what's that movie? The God dog it. Shoot.
I got it. This a horror movie, but it's not a horror movie. A movie named Identity.
Identity. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one, Bob. The Departed. Yeah, that is a good one. That's
yeah. Get to figure out at the end, old boy was a snitch.
Yeah. Man, Dead's coming up with
Usual Suspects a good one too. Yeah.
I got one too.
Kaiser Sosa.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. I'm going with Ronin.
Yeah, Ronin. That's an interesting one. Yeah.
Yeah, Ronin with what's my boy name?
Played in all the Fast and Furious movies.
No.
Ronin with De Niro. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, Robert De Niro. Ronin with Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
You said that was a good one, Asa.
Identity.
Yeah, Identity.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah. Owning is one. Coach, did you get one?
The Da Vinci tapes.
All right.
Oh yeah.
All right, last but
man.
not least, there we go. And this go end this on a good note.
See, get Bob. Bob, I'm gonna get you, Bob. I'm gonna get you. Sure enough.
You what?
Oh,
All right, this gonna be an interesting one here. Would you collect $50,000 a week to snitch on one of your family members?
nope.
I didn't say they had to go to jail. I'm just saying just to snitch on them. Period.
Oh, $50,000 a week.
A week.
Well, that takes out mama. I ain't telling no mama, but my sister, I got something for her. Come here. Yeah, dog.
You ain't got the they ain't got to go to jail. It could be she stole the Bible out the church.
Okay, yeah, we go with that, sister. I'm telling on her. I owe her for back in the day. She told on me.
Oh, okay. Coach trying to get revenge. Cuz said movie called Us. Had to see it more than twice. All right, Ace, you snitching on somebody for $50K a week.
But they not going to jail.
No, I didn't say they going to jail. I'm just saying you snitching on them.
Okay.
I don't think so. No. Cause that karma come back quickly. I got so much out there. No.
You can take the 50 and get him the 25.
Yeah.
I got so much out there now. I need to. I got to spend my 25 to clean it up. No.
Oh man.
I thought what's his name was lying. He dead serious.
Oh.
Luka got 31 points already. I thought he was
Oh,
lying.
Luka mad from the other night. Luka.
No, he mad because he in Dallas.
Yeah,
Oh, that too.
Listen.
That's right. Oh,
yeah, because
he might go for 60
heard
then.
y'all talk about him on this show.
Yeah, my bad. He in Dallas tonight. He might try to go for 60, 75 tonight. And he got the green. They gonna give him the green light all night. Plus, he got to make up for losing the game last night. Yeah, Luka gonna be on the baller list for next week.
Yes, and the Braves are in the 6th inning, 0-0.
Oh.
Braves trying to get on a little winning streak. It's all good.
We'll see. With that being said, man, shout out to everybody taking the time to tune in. Shout out to Asa. Shout out to Coach, man, and I so appreciate it. Hancock had mandatory overtime, and I made the call early today, as he told me this morning. I said, all right, well, let me rally the crew together. But listen, it's always fun to talk about. I figure I had to wear my bulletproof vest today, so hey,
we ain't even come at you hard today, H.O. You know what I mean?
I was in a forgiving mood because John Shai, I told him I take all that stuff back. I said I didn't apologize and everything, but I take it all back because, sir, you have to understand how to execute an inbound pass. You got to draw something up better than that. Yeah. And if y'all don't work on nothing else, please work on free throws.
Yep.
But with that being said, man, that's all I got. So, all right, Ace, what you got?
Hey, man, always shout out to you, H.O. and Coach and the SRT family, man. Always have a good time when I come on. Check me and the other half of DNA Sports Talk on Monday, 7 to 9. Just go to DNA Sports Talk on all social media and you'll find the links. And again, to everybody, man, enjoy the rest of your week. Let's go Braves. Let's make up this 6-game deficit. Let's come back here and be 8-8 next week, or at 500, where we need to be.
Exactly. All right, Coach, what you got?
Yeah, shout out to Ho. H.O. I always say that. Shout out to the Dr. Asa Brown. Shout out to everybody who watched the show tonight that can't check in to you, but there's about everybody. Shout out to my boys on the Red and Real Sports Show. 11 on Saturday from 11 until we get tired. Red, Real, Armani. And a shout out to Bob. see this.
But Coach got them
Shout out
ready
to
for you.
you. Next time
Yeah.
I see, I'm gonna be at a Braves game, and you gonna be at a Braves game. Watch
Exactly.
your cotton candy.
Bob said he gonna give you some All-Star game tickets.
I'll be there.
Yeah, you know
If you
the
get
All-Star
my show, I'll
game
be
here.
there.
With that being said, Coach, I am free this Saturday, so if you need me, just holler. I'm free this Saturday. No out of town, no haircut. I'm good to go. So if you need me,
Yes,
just
sir.
holler.
All right.
Yes, that's gonna end our show, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you go to YouTube. If you check us out, make sure you go to the website, srtradio.com. And man, it's been good, man. For Hancock, Asa, and Coach, this is SRT crew. RIP Moms and Pops, RIP BC. And this is the SRT crew, and we'll holler at y'all next week. We out. Peace.